Welcome back everyone to Spicy Chronicles. This is your host Mary, and today we're covering a story from r/ask Reddit. It's quite a heartwarming story, so get ready to shed a few tears here and there, but only if you want to. The title is, Have You Ever Picked Up a Hitchhiker? I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get right into it. Just about every time I see someone, I stop. I kind of got out of the habit in the last couple of years, moved to a big city and all that. My girlfriend wasn't too stoked on the practice. Then some shit happened to me that changed me, and I am back to offering rides habitually. If you would indulge me, it's a long story and has almost nothing to do with hitchhiking other than happening on a road. This past year, I have had 3 instances of car trouble. A blowout on a freeway, a bunch of blown fuses, and an out-of-gas situation. All of them were while driving other people's cars, which, for some reason, makes it worse on an emotional level. It makes it worse on a practical level as well, what with the fact that I can carry things like a jack and extra fuses in my car, and know enough not to park facing downhill on a steep incline with less than a gallon of fuel. Anyway, each of these times this shit happened, I was disgusted with how people would not bother to help me. I spent hours on the side of the freeway waiting, watching roadside assistance vehicles blow past me for AAA to show. The 4 gas stations I asked for a gas can at told me that they couldn't loan them out for my safety, but I could buy a really shitty 1-gallon one with no cap for $15. It was enough each time to make you say shit like, "This country is going to hell in a handbasket." But you know who came to my rescue all 3 times? Immigrants. Mexican immigrants. None of them spoke a lick of the language. But one of those dudes had a profound effect on me. He was the guy that stopped to help me with a blowout with his whole family of 6 in tow. I was on the side of the road for close to 4 hours. Big Jeep, blown rear tire, had a spare but no jack. I had signs in the windows of the car, big signs that said, "Need a jack," and offered money. No dice. Right as I'm about to give up and just hitch out there, a van pulls over and a dude bounds out. He sizes the situation up and calls for his youngest daughter, who speaks English. He conveys through her that he has a jack, but it's too small for the Jeep, so we will need to brace it. He produces a saw from the van and cuts a log out of a downed tree on the side of the road. We rolled it over, put his jack on top, and bam, in business. I start taking the wheel off and, if you can believe it, I broke his tire iron. It was one of those collapsible ones, and I wasn't careful, and I snapped the head I needed clean off. Fuck. No worries. He runs to the van, gives it to his wife, and she's gone in a flash down the road to buy a tire iron. She's back in 15 minutes. We finish the job with a little sweat and cussing. Stupid log was starting to give, and I am a very happy man. We are both filthy and sweaty. The wife produces a large water jug for us to wash our hands in. I tried to put a 20 in the man's hands, but he wouldn't take it, so I instead gave it to his wife as quietly as I could. I thanked them up one side and down the other. I asked the little girl where they lived, thinking maybe I could send them a gift for being so awesome. She says they live in Mexico. They're here so mommy and daddy can pick peaches for the next few weeks. After that, they're going to pick cherries, then go back home. She asks if I've had lunch, and when I told her no, she gave me a tamale from their cooler. The best fucking tamale I've ever had. So, to clarify, a family that is undoubtedly poorer than you, me, and just about everyone else on that stretch of road, working on a seasonal basis where time is money, took an hour or 2 out of their day to help some strange dude on the side of the road when people in tow trucks were just passing me by. I mean, wow. But we aren't done yet. I thank them again and walk back to my car and open the foil on the tamale because I am starving at this point. And what do I find inside? My fucking $20 bill. I whirl around and run up to the van, and the guy rolls down his window. He sees the $20 in my hand and just shaking his head no, like he won't take it. All I can think to say is, por favor, por favor, por favor, with my hands out. Dude just smiles, shake his head, and with what looked like great concentration, tried his hardest to speak to me in English. Today you, tomorrow me. He rolled up his window, drove away, his daughter waving to me in the rear view. I sat in my car eating the best fucking tamale of all time, and I just cried, like a little girl. It has been a rough year and nothing has broke my way. This was so out of left field, I just couldn't deal. In the 5 months since I've changed a couple of tires, given a few rides to gas stations, and once went 50 miles out of my way to get a girl to an airport, I won't accept money. Every time I tell them the same thing when we are through. Today you, tomorrow me. Too long don't read. Long rambling story about how the kindness of strangers, particularly folks from the south of the border, forced me to be more helpful on the road and in life in general. I'm sure it won't be as meaningful to anyone else, but it was seriously the highlight of my 2010. To the OP, sorry to jack your thread. This has nothing to do with hitchhiking. I sort of thought I could just get this off my chest, enjoy the catharsis, and watch the story languish at the bottom of the page. I'm glad people like hearing the tale, and I hope it moves you to be more helpful in your day-to-day. Wow, this story, it touched me for sure. If there's one thing I can wish in the world, it really is just spreading kindness wherever it may be, whatever instance, as simple as it could be. Kindness is free, and for people who are just so resistant to it, I really wish them the best in life. Ideally, I think it's one of these stories that really goes to show how people and their mindset can just be so diluted with stereotypes in our heads, whether it be a person's skin color, their accent. You can really judge a person and sort of refrain from even helping them just because of the things that you have stuck in your head. And so I love hearing stories like these because really it just breaks stereotypes and it shows the kindness that we all have inside of us. And if we're willing enough, we really can just help each other out in this world. But unfortunately, most of us don't decide to do that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this story. Like I said, it definitely touched me, and hopefully it can pay some respect to some of your daily experiences in life. All right, we'll catch you in the next one.